Hello everyone, and welcome back to Dan-Ger, where every day is an adventure. Today's adventure is a historical one again. As you can see, I'm here at the Manor House Hotel in Royal Leamington Spa as we take a look at the Wise family who built this, and also the Shrubland Manor House, which we'll go and take a look at in a little bit. So let's get to it. So the Manor House opened as a hotel in 1847 by an Isaac Curtis, who was later bankrupt, and in 1850 it later became a school for 20 years, and in 1871 £7,000 was spent on improvement, and that's a lot of money back in them days. Nowadays it probably wouldn't get you a pint of milk. And then in 1932 it was bought by a syndicate which owned many hotels and properties. In 1939 it was shut and requested for use with the Second World War. It then reopened in 1946 and 2 acres of land were sold to build an apartment block which still stands today, which used to be the tennis courts or area, and apparently tennis was actually invented in Leamington, and they played it at that very tennis court before it was even played in Wimbledon. And in January 2004 it was shut for the very last time as a hotel, but today it is still used as apartments for the rich, probably, because I ain't never going to afford one of them. So that out the way, we're going to take a look at the Wise family now who built this. So the Wise family owned quite a lot of land south of the river in the Leamington Prior, as it was known back in those days. They also owned land in Whitnash, Leamington and Warwick. The Wise had settled in Leamington by 1714, and in 1740 they built this, the Manor House. And in 1719 a third spring was found, and they turned that into a bath, because they owned a lot of bath houses, but wasn't publicly known at the time. And then they stopped developing for almost 20 years, and in 1800 Matthew Wise owned 473 acres. Wise of Leamington and Warwick descended from a Henry Wise of Brompton Park, Middlesex. The family built a new manor house in 1823 called Shrubland Hall, which is where we're going to now. So I'll tell you a bit more about that place when we get there. So this is the Manor House. That, I think, is an extension. You can probably see from the old pictures that I'll show you. And over here is the flats that were built on the 2 acres that were sold. My nan actually worked here when it was a hotel, so she could probably tell you some stories. And if you've worked at the hotel, you could probably let me know your stories. There's a plaque on the door, so we see what that says. Oh, it's about the lawn tennis. You can see some of the architectural details around the windows and arches. That's where the join would have been for the extension. And there's this little shield thing on the wall. Don't know if that has a significant reference. It's like a family shield or something, I'm not sure. So this would have been the original gatehouse to the estate. It's just houses now though, look. And a cycle path. And then we have Audi, which have now moved. All of this would have been farmland. So here we are in South Lee Avenue. This would have been the site of the Shrubland Manor house. But it's just houses now, look. Just a lot of houses. I wonder how old these houses were. And there's some really old trees over there. Hang on, let me just... Can you see them tall trees there, look? I wonder if they're part of the old estate. It's amazing. So here we are on what would have been the grounds of the manor house, Shrubland Manor House. I'm not sure these trees behind me are from that period. They're not that old. They'd have to be around 100, maybe 200 years old. And these are just little... That was a squirrel and it scared the shite out of me. Anyway, the manor house was built in 1822 because they wanted to distance themselves from the riff-raff of the common folk. You know who you are. I'm probably in that club as well. I ain't posh and I don't care. In 1864, Matthew Wise Jr. sadly passed away. He was only 62. I suppose back in those days that was probably quite old, because you know, life expectancy nowadays can't even retire till I'm 68. And he is buried in Whitnash, which is just, it's that way. His widow Elizabeth continued to live in the house for at least 1881. Her son inherited the house and he started living there until his death. It's a lot of deaths. In 1886. After this it became a girls' academy, and this closed in 1939 when it was demolished for further redevelopment, which is what it is used for today, as houses to home people that are stupidly expensive. And so I hope you have enjoyed that little look at the Wise family and the history of not just the Manor House Hotel but the Shrubland Manor House. That's a lot of manors and a lot of houses. So I hope you have a lovely day or evening, depending what time you watch this, and I'll see you all very soon for another trip down memory lane, or maybe just a trip. Take care of yourselves, stay safe out there, look out for each other. Cheery bye.